Ross Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Regulatory reform, Mr. Chairman. Regulatory improvement bill. All I can say is hurrah, and at last something is being done, initiated by the last Labor government and the Honourable Leanne Dalziel. But what is good to see, Mr. Hayes, is that it's been carried forward by this government. Mr. Chairman, I speak on this side of the House for small business. Of course, when last in opposition, I was also the spokesperson for small business, and I learnt a number of things. I learnt, sir, how passionate that small business owners are about their business. I learnt, sir, how much effort, commitment and dedication that they put into making sure their business is successful. And to me, Mr. Chairman, the small business is the locomotive of growth, they're the driver of GDP, and they're the bastion of employment. And we can't do enough for them. And one of the things that I learnt then and have been reinforced now, Mr. Chairman, is the fact of compliance costs. Compliance costs for small business. And when you look at regulatory improvement, the whole thing is about productivity. That's what it's about. It's about the better utilisation of resources, all resources, land, labour, capital and machinery. It's about doing everything that we can do and do it better. And what we have in this case with the regulatory improvement bill is the former minister wanted to do what she could do to improve the overall performance of small business because of the impact that they have on the New Zealand economy. And she, sir, is to be commended for that. Mr. Chairman, it's about effectiveness, it's about efficiency, and it's all about best practice. And what I found interesting in this, Mr. Chairman, was that in all of the submissions, and the committee received 10, only 3 were heard. And I found that slightly unusual because I would have thought that there would have been more input into such an important bill. Obviously, the submissions were of high quality because that's why this legislation is here. What I think is important, Mr. Chairman, to recognise in all of this is the results of the Quality Regulation Review, carried out over 15 months. Lots of consultation right around the country with those stakeholders involved and also a number of small businesses. And I want to acknowledge, sir, the part played by the Select Committee, the members that were on it, and also the officials. And if I go through, I see it was chaired by the Honourable Leanne Dalziel, John Boscawen was on there, Claire Curran, Te Ururoa Flavel, Raymond Ho, Melissa Lee, Sam Lutuwinga, Katrina Shanks and Jonathan Young. And I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, that with the work that came back from the Select Committee, that they obviously put a great deal of effort into it, and they, sir, should be acknowledged for the contribution that they made, along with the officials who did a tremendous amount of work in ensuring that this legislation came back to this House in the manner in which it's done. Mr. Chairman, what I think is really important and what needs to be read into the debate is the results of the Quality Regulation Review. And if I can share them with you, sir, and just before I do, though, I want to put this question to the Minister, to the Honourable Rodney Hyde. Does he see any further improvement in regulatory reform? And if so, what are they? That's the question, Minister. I want to know whether you're going to continue the reforms that the Honourable Leanne Dalziel implemented when she introduced this bill back in September of 2008. But let me just read this into the Hansard, Mr. Chairman. The Regulatory Improvement Bill, what does it do? ACC and Inland Revenue have agreed to improve the coordination of data collection and share information on businesses. Fantastic. Fantastic. Working together. And in that true sense of the word community, it means together we serve, together we prosper. And here we have the Inland Revenue, the ACC and small businesses all working together to improve things. Next one, Mr. Chairman. The adjustment date for excise and the Alcohol Advisory Council of New Zealand levy paid by the wine industry are now aligned. That's got to be a plus also, Mr Chairman, for small business. Mr Chairman.
Honourable Rodney.